Today I have with me Kiana Anderson. What's up, Keedy? How are you?
I'm good, and yourself?
I'm really good. I'm really happy that you're here with us. Yeah, this is our first Zoom interview, so we're really excited about that. So if you're listening, wherever you are, bear with us a little bit because this is our first time. Keedy can't be here in person because she's too busy hooping overseas, out into Morocco. Keedy, did you fly over there? What was the deal with that? How does that go? How many planes did you have to take to get to Morocco?
I flew here. It took me almost 3 days. I flew from New Orleans to Fort Lauderdale, then stayed overnight, and then I flew to New York. I was in New York for a whole day. And then I went to Portugal. And then I went to Casablanca. And from Casablanca, I rode a bus. It was probably like a 8-9 hour drive to Nador. Mm-hmm. So it was hectic. It was a long travel.
A long travel.
Long and drawn out, miserable travel.
Oh man, I can only imagine. I remember us playing together, taking those long bus rides and not having a lot of leg room. Those buses, man, I don't miss bus travel. So
yeah.
Props to you, bud. Props to you. Well, Keedy, thank you so much for joining us. I can definitely imagine. Thank you so much for joining us. Keedy, I guess where I want to start is like your background with your sport, and tell me a little bit about that and kind of how that transitioned as you got older, and just like what was your childhood like with basketball?
Okay, I started playing in the 5th grade. Basketball, I did not like basketball. At the time in track, that's what I did. That was a sport. That was my thing. At the time, I was in a band, and my drum instructor, he coached basketball, different sports or whatever. He was like, "You playing basketball? You don't got no choice." So from then on, I started playing basketball. I got into like AAU travel ball and stuff like that. I always played up. And then from there, it just went from there. 5th grade, I decided to take it serious, of course, because my mom invested in summer ball, which cost. So that kind of helped me a lot with getting better, growing, and stuff like that. Of course, this wasn't the only sport I played, but basically that's just how that started. 5th grade. I didn't do this from a kid, like a little bitty kid.
Did you feel like you had a bit of a late start since you started at 5th grade? I know some people are like, oh no, I started playing basketball when I started walking kind of thing. Did you ever feel like you were a little behind?
Now that I think back on it, like now that I'm here where I'm at, I think I would have started a little earlier. But then again, it wasn't bad timing because some people start in high school.
That's true.
So I think it was perfect timing for me. I was like, damn, I kind of started earlier, but it still ended up being perfect timing. It wasn't too late. It wasn't too soon. So, yeah.
Yeah. And didn't you win a couple of state championships whenever you were in high school? Well, correct me if I'm wrong there, because I know you're a hooper. Yeah.
I went back to that.
And I'm sorry.
I should have 4 of them.
You should have 4? Oh, tell me about that. What's the should from?
Freshman year, we ended up losing in the 3rd round. It was just, our team was dealing with injuries. That was a factor. And then come back my sophomore year, same thing. Injuries. Should have won that year. So in junior year, we finally got healthy. Everybody got healthy. My senior year, I had just came back from an ACL. I missed my entire senior year and I ended up getting cleared for the semifinals and the championship. So I was very excited about that because I missed my whole senior year and I got to actually play in the championship game. So that's kind of how that went. But back to back, yep. I should have 4, but back to back.
Man, those
in my
ACL...
senior, I went to state for track too.
Oh,
was crazy.
What did you do in track?
So I did feel I was gonna do like the triple jump stuff, the same event, but because I was fresh off my ACL, they was like, no, because you about to go to school, we don't want to risk that. So I did shot put, javelin, and discus. But shot put was my favorite one. That's with the ball. That was my favorite one out of all of them.
Yeah.
I went to state for shot put. Yeah. So
okay, athlete, we get it,
cool.
Keedy. You're strong. We get it. You're strong. Yeah. We understand. I get it. I get it.
Field.
You went to state your first year.
My first year doing field events. My first year, I never done it before. Yep.
Oh my gosh. No, that is so impressive, Keedy. Wow. I didn't know the rest of it. Well, another thing I wanted to ask too, I mean, like, you said that you didn't feel like you were behind, and it sounds like you definitely weren't, because you were able to accomplish all of these things. That's incredible, Keedy. Like, that's awesome. And then you went on to play at the Division I level. So yeah, no, you weren't behind. You were ahead.
Yeah, I was. And, you know, of course, with the injury, when injuries, you know, become a factor, that kind of, I wouldn't say it messed anything up, but detoured me many different tour, kind of like, you know, once you take your ACL, the offers start falling off the table, you know, things like that. And also, like, I reflect a lot on my knee, because I still kind of deal with it to this day. And I miss the Keedy before the ACL. I was, like, the things I used to do was crazy. Like, my freshman year, I was almost dunking. Like, I remember it was a summer league game, and I'm gonna ask my coach if he still got this film. And it was playing a school, and I never forget. I chased her down, and I went and got it off the backboard. I was doing crazy stuff like that. I'm like, dang, like, I ain't doing that no more. Like where it went is gone. Like, where did that go? And I kind of missed that at the athletic side. But I mean, you know, stuff be happening for a reason. I think I'm a more sound player now. Way more sound than what I was then. More skilled. Man, I always think about how my career could have went if I didn't tear my ACL, like college and all that. So I'm very curious today. I still kind of wonder, but I never know, because my reality is post ACL.
Yeah. Hey, I'm right there with you. You watched me tear my ACL at Little Rock. So Keedy, you were my roommate. You were my first
game. I never forget it.
Oh man.
Yes.
And
apartment 1208.
The 1208, that was our apartment. Your birthday, right?
1208.
Perfect.
Yep, I never forget it. That's why it's so easy to remember.
Never forget that. Oh my gosh. So yeah, I completely understand, like, injuries, and the ACL is such a traumatic one too, because, like, once you're back and you're, like, fully cleared, you still are so scared. Like, it's a mental factor too. Like,
it's a mental thing. Yeah.
And, like, mental is as important as physical. And I just felt like, you know, I wasn't driving to the basket near as much because I was afraid to step on people. I turned into more of a jump shooter. Like, it affects you.
It definitely does. It alters your game. That's why I think that's, like I said, like, with me, like, I feel like a lot of things that I used to, I won't do. I think I don't like to say use the word scared, but because I'm thinking about all these things in the back of my head, I don't want to tear my knee again. So a lot of things I don't do that I used to do. I don't think that I can't do them, but I just don't do it, you know. But it definitely does change, because I mean, it's a mental game. It definitely is. Just trusting your knee and believing that it's believing that it's fixed. It won't tell, and if it's gonna tell, it's gonna tell, you know. But it's definitely a mental game. I will say this: I still deal with it to this day, and it's crazy. And when it's hurting, it's aching, that's when I deal with it the most. And I'm mentally just like, I don't trust it. Because it don't feel normal. It don't feel right. So I still deal with it to this day. It's very annoying, because you don't want to be playing the game and thinking about your knee, like, the whole time, like, coasting, because you're afraid to hurt your knee. So it's a lie.
Yeah. I mean, you can go 100%, but then you still have that anxiety. So it's just like, I could be given even more, but, like, I'm terrified.
It's always to give more.
I really have become a really big advocate for mental health and everything. And I think mental health advocacy groups are really important. Right now I'm repping No Solo. There's a mental health advocacy group, and I love them. And one of the big things after an injury, like we've said, is the mental portion of it. And my second year Well, no, when we were at our first school there was a guy training in sports psychology, and then when I got to my second school, I we had a sports psychologist. Do you feel like that would have helped more for you at least?
Oh, that's a good question because as far as with my knee, I don't know, but like overall, just in general, probably. I think so. Actually, talking to somebody that understands what athletes go through and stuff like that, trying to help us navigate that, whatever we're dealing with. So I didn't use a sports psychologist till I got to my third school. No, I'm lying. My second school. When I went JUCO, that's when I decided to see a sports psychologist. And I would talk to that person or whatever. And of course, they have their suggestions on different ways to not cope, but like, what's the word I'm looking for? I can't think of what I'm looking for, but like just different things, different exercises to do whenever, whatever you got on your mind, whether it's writing it down, just different stuff, whatever they recommend. But for me, it was like, write it down in the notebook. I've never thought of that like that. And still to this day, like when I'm dealing with things, I still don't think to write it down. Like, so.
Yeah.
But I've tried it, but like it's on a consistent basis, that's just not my thing.
Yeah, like sit down, talk to somebody, and yeah, everyone has different ways they cope with stress and just all of the mental factors that go into playing, whether it's being scared of an injury because of an injury, or like I was always terrified of making mistakes when it came to playing. That definitely hurt my game a whole lot because one, I was afraid, okay, if I drive in, I'm gonna step on somebody, or I had coaches that, hey, if you make a mistake immediately, I'm pulling you, and it just compounded a lot of anxiety with me. And I would talk to sports psychologists whenever I could, right? And it was nice to have someone that kind of understood what it was like as an athlete, because usually they are former athletes too, so they kind of understand the culture and finding ways to mitigate the culture and trying to find the best ways for you to find good coping mechanisms. I think sports psychology needs to be better funded, and I think every school needs someone in their department that is trained in it, because I feel like that'd be very, very helpful. Every level. It does not matter if you're a Division I athlete, which I understand, like Division I sports have more funding and everything. I get that, but Division II, Division III, NAIA, those young people are still like struggling with mental health. Just because they play on a different level doesn't mean that they don't have the same struggles as someone that has the funding to get help for the same struggles, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I agree. I think it should be a necessity for every university. Like, it shouldn't be a non-negotiable. We have to have a psychologist, any type of psychologist. I don't care what kind it is. We need one for these athletes because we do it a lot, and people don't understand. Well, regular people don't understand that. We deal with a lot, and it look like, it's all glitz and glams, like it's this perfect, like it's this perfect situation. But we definitely deal with things, and it plays a lot on our mental. Like, a lot of athletes deal with, like you say, like just being perfect, because at the end of the day, I feel like athletes in general are dehumanized. They forget that we're human. They see us in a way that whatever way they see us as, that's the way they feel like we should be, or whatever the case may be. So when athletes make mistakes or a situation go on, the feedback, the backlash, it just be so harsh, We deal with a lot, like even just with the sport. Rather, some people have issues with the coaches or whatever the issue may be. We have issues that we deal with that plays a lot on our mental health. They don't just be about basketball. People just forget it or don't consider it. It's not glitz and glams. It's not perfect. It's ups and downs. But I will say this: you learn a lot from it. I've became stronger because of my situation. I've took something from each and every one of them. It was a test of times. It was mentally sometimes, and sometimes I had fun. It was cool, no problems, no issues. But for the most part, we all go through it.
And look at you. You are a professional basketball player, Keedy. I don't know if that was a dream of yours you had when you were a kid, but look at you right now. Like, you are doing something right now that not a lot of people are able to do. I mean, I want to give you your flowers in that, like, hey, you came from a torn ACL,
thank you,
bunch of stuff in college, and then to be able to have the opportunity to go play overseas and see these different countries and immerse yourself in different cultures. I mean, that's one heck of an opportunity, and that's just really, really cool. It's not a chance a lot of people get, and I'm just really, really proud of you for being able to pursue your dreams like that.
I appreciate it. That's love. I really appreciate that, for sure.
Of course, girl. Of course. Well, too, when you were talking about with not coaches, or like necessarily the system not treating athletes like they're human, I kind of want to elaborate more on that, because I feel like in my previous episodes Marisa and I talk a whole lot about athletes being seen as more of like performers and entertainers and checks rather than human beings. And in my opinion, that is wrong. I understand that it is a business, right? But then whenever you don't take into consideration the well-being of the cogs that are being used in your machine, right? The vehicle breaks down. And then you have athletes that are suffering mentally. And then that doesn't make a viable product whenever it's affecting their performance, right? So I completely agree with you in that every single level, every single school should have a sports psychologist. One for one for every level, and it'd be nice to have multiple on a campus for differing teams, because like you talk about like Power 5 conferences, they have so many sports, like lacrosse, football, soccer, like so many, rowing, they have so many athletes and so many sports.
Everything.
I mean, that just goes to show that you need more people trained to help with other athletes. And who's to say if someone's not comfortable with one sports psychologist, hey, I'd feel more comfortable with this one because I connect with this one more. You shouldn't have to be pigeonholed into one person. You should be able to go and seek help from someone you feel comfortable with.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to open up unless you feel comfortable and confident that what you share with this person will stay in their office and it'll be like beneficial, you know? Hey, and overseas, y'all should have access to sports psychiatry. I feel like that would be helpful.
I'm right now. We should. It don't stop at college. It keeps going. The only difference is in college, the resources are provided to you. When you're professional, you're on your own.
Yep.
So the mental health does not stop. I wouldn't say that it intensifies, but it don't stop. It just doesn't stop. So I need one right now. I tell you no lies.
Hey,
baby, some days I don't know if I'm coming or going. So it don't stop. Trust.
I completely get you.
Not no amount of money, no money, no deal. Take away that mental health aspect. So matter of fact, it might intensify. You know what? It might really does intensify more because now it's actually your job. Your salary is on the line. Matter of fact, your job is on the line. You don't perform. You don't come out here and do what you need to do. You go get sent home.
That's true.
If that's how you feed your family, then
yeah, the stakes are higher.
So it's a lot of pressure. And then playing overseas, it is. And playing overseas, they have these crazy, outrageous expectations of us. And if we don't, I guess, live up to whatever their expectations are, then we just not good enough in their eyes, or they're gonna send us home. Just period. So it does intensify. If now that I really think about it, it does, because it's more pressure, like, to keep your job, to perform and stuff like that. And now you have to make your own routine. You come from a routine that's already laid out for you in college. When you become a professional, you got to create your own routine. You got to do what works for you. And that's tough too, because that takes a lot of self-discipline. Because for 4 or 5 years, have a loan, you had it all laid out for you. So you ain't have no choice but to get this, and that done. So now when you're professional, you got a choice. So it's just being disciplined and understanding that these things still need to get done in order to be able to do your job and effectively do your job. So,
and you mentioned to me at one time that some of your contracts will be like half a year, and so you're in another country for 6 to 8 months, right?
Yeah. They can be very long. It all depends. Sometimes you can have a 3-month contract. Some people do like just a tournament. It could be, like I said, almost a year. It could be a year. It just depends. Every different. Every league duration of time is different. So it all depends. A long time, trust, for the most part, a very long time.
And I would be homesick. Are you homesick?
I normally don't get homesick. If I'm homesick, it's probably because I don't like where I'm at. Or I'm just not enjoying it or whatnot. But I normally don't get homesick. I love being away from home. I enjoy being away from home, experiencing new places, different places. Yeah. I can't be home for too long. I have to go. After a while, I gotta go.
I'm right there with you. I'm right there. I just don't know if I could go 8 months without seeing my family. But yeah, I know. Believe me, I'm living home right now, and it's tough. I'm 24, about to turn 25. You pay rent with your soul sometimes, but that's okay. That's okay. At the end of the day, you're thankful. You're thankful.
Yeah, definitely. Yep. It's a sacrifice, though. You sacrifice, like you said, it's definitely a sacrifice. Time with your family and all that, but that does not bother me. I'm okay.
I love that.
I'm here for a reason, so I'm gonna get it done. I'll see y'all later. I got something I'm trying to get done. I'm gonna catch up with y'all later.
I love that you're very studious in your purpose. Like, you take time to study what your purpose is and you go for it, and despite any condition that you're in. But that's just a lot of resilience on your part, Keedy. That's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Girl, I'm gonna give you a ton of compliments. I admire you so much. What you do right now is unbelievable. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
I appreciate it.
So from one transfer portal veteran to another transfer portal veteran, how is the transfer portal like from your perspective, going to 3 different schools? How is that?
The first time, I kind of was I worried or was I not worried? I don't think I was too much worried, because see, then when we were in the transfer portal, it wasn't. I don't think it was as hectic in such a it was hectic, but it wasn't like a situation where we wasn't gonna have nowhere to go. Yeah. Compared to now when they get in those portals. In the beginning, I had some offers as far as of course, schools back at home was trying to get me. I wasn't going back home. So that was an automatic no. And I had some people from maybe D2s or whatever. And that was an automatic no for me too, because I knew my work. I'm like, nothing wrong with that level of play or whatever. I just basketball player. I wasn't going nowhere other than Division I. So in order for me to give myself the opportunity and chance to do it, I went JUCO, so I could get recruited again. Because like I said, coming out of high school, once I took my ACL, I kind of the recruitment kind of went wacky for me after that. So I was I looked at it as an opportunity to get recruited again. So I was I'm gonna just go JUCO, and give myself the opportunity again. And then that's how that went. And of course, I had 1 year at JUCO because I had already did a year of D1, Division I, and then when JUCO only had 1 year left. I played at one of the top JUCOs in the country, Trinity Valley. We went to the national championship. We lost by 8. So we were really good. That's actually, to be honest, out of my whole college career, probably my whole career, that's the best team I ever played with. That was one of the favorite teams I ever played with. I enjoyed playing with those girls. I enjoyed being around them. And we were winning. We were good. So it was cool. And then towards the end, the recruitment. Now, this was I think this was like during COVID time. It was a lot. It was hectic.
Yeah.
Shoot, then I was worried about being even like having somewhere to go because it was, people was getting a year back. So some people wasn't even recruiting. So I ended up getting an offer from South Alabama, and who else called me? Coastal, the Sun Belt. I was like, what do the Sun Belt want with me? It was like,
I was just here.
Like, what does the Sun Belt want with me? I was just here, like,
Yeah.
So I ended up going there. This is crazy because right after that, like right after I committed, like later on down the line, I think Butler called one of my trainers, which is in the Big East. I had a former teammate that went to Butler. I was like, oh dang, like it's too late. I can't even consider it now. But so I went to South Alabama. They was recruiting me out of high school too, so I was kind of familiar with them a little bit, and that's why I ended up finishing it. All right. Shout out to Coach Fowler, Coach Travis, Coach Pretzel. Their staff, they was amazing, great people. Yeah, they got me over there, and I enjoyed my first year there. I was so happy, like like I finally actually got to experience whole college. Like it was like everything. We had football, yeah, everything you want to experience in the college, So I was happy. I was high off life when I got there. I was happy. I enjoyed myself. So yeah.
Yeah, you got the college experience. I mean, like at our first school we went to together, yeah, there was hardly any. I mean, there was not a football team. I think the main sport was basketball, but it wasn't like we could go to a lot of. I mean, like people were going to go to the men's games more than the women's games, which is a usual thing. Not this is before pandemic hit and now everyone watches women's sports. This is before when everybody wasn't watching, which stuck like it sucked up for us in the mid majors. Like the main sport people were going to go watch was the men's basketball team, and it's not like we could go watch them because whenever they were playing at home, we were usually on an airplane going to play somebody else. Like yeah. So yeah, I completely understand. I'm really excited for when I go to law school because I get to be a NARP now. I don't have to be an athlete, and I will have a football team and a bunch of stuff, and I'm excited. So that wanting the college experience is something I'll let I completely understand wanting the feeling of I'm with other people that aren't just like that I see every day. Like, oh look, someone's a rower. Oh, okay, look, that's a football player. I haven't seen one of those in years, So that's cool. Having that fulfillment there, I think is important. Diversification of the people that you see is important.
Yeah, very. It definitely does play a factor in you. It definitely does. So.
You get to meet different people, and it's worthwhile for sure. I mean, being able to have friends in different sports. Man, like, were you able to have good friends in different sports whenever you were at your schools?
And so at Trinity Valley, I wouldn't say I was friends outside of my teammates, but I was cool with like some people. Some people on the basketball team, the men's basketball team. We had a football team at Trinity Valley, but I didn't too much communicate with them or talk to them. We seen them, but we didn't see them. I was cool with a couple girls that played softball. The volleyball team was pretty cool and nice. Nice Alabama. Nicole, I'm kind of antisocial, so I don't talk to people. So when it comes to making friends, if it wasn't my teammates, I didn't too much socialize with people outside. Like now I knew some people, like I'm around often. Hey, hi. But as far as like actually making friends or like even being with the acquaintances, no, I didn't. I'm very socially awkward. I don't talk to people.
I never got that vibe.
I'm working on that now because yes, I'm very much like that, and I don't understand. I don't know where it come from. I don't know why, but it's just like I'm not the type of person that's just gonna go up to people and talk to them and hold a conversation or make friends. If it happened organically, naturally, then yeah. But like I'm like super to myself. I be in my own little space, my own little world.
Hey, I get it. And definitely after the pandemic, that I think hurt everybody's social skills. Being able to go up to talk to somebody.
Oh, that made it hard too.
Ugh. I was really, really anxious all of the time.
Everybody being yeah, like, cause like when during the pandemic and stuff, like everybody was kind of like kept away from each other. Like, you can't go hang out with this group of people. You can't go hang out with that group of people because of the keeping the sickness away and from spreading and stuff like that. So it was a thing like that. And I was in JUCO during that time, so it was, oh my God, it was crazy. And we still somehow had fun and made it a good experience, even though to certain things and stuff. So it was cool.
Good. Well, I kind of want to talk more about how
we made the best of it.
Yeah. It sounds like you did. That's really good. That's more than a lot of people were able to do. I know some teams had to shut down their entire seasons and stuff. So it was good that some people were able to play.
Yeah.
But too, whenever we were playing together, I specifically remember because I had torn my ACL on my birthday. Horrible birthday. Had a horrible time. we were in Troy, Alabama against Troy. Yeah. Oh man, I never forget. That girl tripped our teammate.
It replays in my mind right now. I still remember.
The drama. Oh man. And I'll never forget or forgive the camera crew that wanted to zoom in on me as I'm over here crying. Because I'm like, I like now how they're messy. I like now how athletes are coming together when someone has an injury or something, they put towels around them. I've noticed that a whole lot with women's basketball.
Towels around them. Yeah.
Because that person is probably in their worst moment right now. They are owed some privacy, and that's when it comes down to exactly. At that point, they are like very vulnerable human being, but y'all are still trying to commercialize them. Like, oh, well, look at this, look at all this cameras. Oh, we get a lot of views if we see so and so crying. Like, come on, they're human beings. Treat them like human beings. So I love to see the sisterhood that's happening in professional sports with women. I know I saw a soccer clip at one point that this woman she was playing in her hijab came off, and her culture, like, you're supposed to keep that on. And so all of the soccer team around her, yes, and the other team did it too. And it's just out of respect for her. I mean, it didn't matter if they were on different teams or not, but like understanding like that's a part of their culture, and I'm going to be supportive and just be like a human being in that moment. Those moments are really, really important. And I hate it whenever like we're gonna zoom in on someone absolutely going through it on the sideline, like, man, just for clicks, and that's frustrating. But back to my original sorry, I went off on a tangent there, but back to my original thing. When COVID was happening, right, I had torn my ACL, and then I wasn't able, it was like right before we went on our conference championship, right? And so y'all were on the bus going to wherever the championship was, and then I think y'all played one game. COVID hit while y'all were on the way over to the championship whenever we were playing together, and I was watching at home and watching y'all play, and then the tournament wasn't even able to finish, right?
No. It was we had ended up playing Lafayette in order to go to New Orleans and play in the Smoothie King Center, because it was going to be in the Smoothie King Center that year. And we had just lost, and right before was leaving, they said that they canceling the whole tournament, because at first, like, throughout the whole tournament, they would say, we're gonna it's gonna be restrictions, like as far as like when it comes to the fans and how they were gonna do things or whatever. And then they eventually said they wasn't gonna do it at all. So it ended, and I went right home right after.
You went right home?
As soon as they said they wasn't gonna do nothing, I went right home. I left and I went
ready to go.
Yeah, I was ready to go. And then when I had to be back, I flew back. But I went home.
I was in that apartment lonely, but I was with my parents, but because I was resting after my ACL. Hey, I get it. You were already
I didn't waste any
time. I get it. So, do you feel like COVID affected your recruiting in any way? Because it definitely got me pretty good.
I would say yes, because by everybody getting their year back, they're saying people that probably were supposed to be getting pushed up out of their year, so bringing people back.
I mean, it got me pretty good too. I transferred mid-year. I transferred at semester from my school. Just stuff went down that I just couldn't tolerate anymore, and I was just like, this is toxic. It's not okay. I just need to get out. Not good on my mental. It was not good situation. But ended up leaving, and then of course you got COVID, and transferring mid-year, people were already in their seasons, and so I mean, I had Division I offers. I had Division II schools come to me too, but like I was like you, right? Like I only want to play at the Division I level. I've proven to myself and proven to others that I can play at this level. I want to be challenged. I'm going to play at this level no matter what. And so transferring mid-year hurt me in that respect with COVID and everything. And it hit me again when I was grad transferring. Because like you said, people were coming back, and I had scheduled a visit to my number one school, and I was going to go to Montana State. I was so ready to go, scheduled a visit. I loved the coaches. I talked to them, I FaceTimed them a bunch. They were great. Going to go on the visit, and then the communication started dying off a little bit, and I was like, okay, oh no, something's kind of fishy. What's going on? I ended up getting a head coach. The head coach calls me on the phone. Very, very sweet lady, very professional. I really, really liked her. Tells me, hey, we just had our senior banquet, and we have like 3 seniors that have decided they're going to come back. And so we did have a scholarship for you, but we don't anymore because we're going to honor that they want to come back. And it was like, oh no. And I don't even like the cold. But I was ready to go to Montana because I was ready to go. Huh? Yeah, I really, really liked that. I was like, oh yeah, let's go. They're going to play their post players. It's not going to be just, let's just jack up a bunch of threes. I was like, let's go.
Yeah.
But so I understand with people coming back, and I mean, I feel bad for the people now. Like, you got super seniors playing, and these poor seniors in high school don't have any place to go.
They don't have nowhere to go because these coaches now, they're recruiting out of JUCO or the portal.
Yep.
If you're not maybe like the top in the country, nation, state, whatever, you don't have no chance of going to nobody's school. Unless you go JUCO, maybe. But as far as getting recruited directly from a D1, it's little to no chances. You know, they have a few schools that do it. But those girls they're recruiting at the top of their class, top of the nation, and all that, a whole bunch of extra stuff. So yeah, it's different now, and I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'm kind of glad I got in when I did because it wasn't so hard. I don't think it was as hard as it is now to get a scholarship then. You know, so like, yeah. I'm glad I did it when I did. But the thing is, I got out at the wrong time because now they got the NIL and they got a whole bunch of all this other stuff. You get to pay the pledge, you get to do this and all that. We got out at the wrong time.
I was lucky
to have an opportunity to do that, but.
Yeah, I mean, I was lucky in that I was in grad school when NIL stuff started happening, and I was able to get a lot of deals. A lot of the stuff wasn't necessarily like monetary. It was more of like, hey, market our product, and you'll get free stuff. I was able to get like free meals and everything, and I was cool with that. I was happy getting free meals as a broke college student. I was like, yeah feed me, please. For real. So I get it. Now, one question I had for your JUCO experience, right? I know things are constantly changing with NCAA rules. Whenever you were playing at the JUCO level, were those years, or how many years did you play at the JUCO?
I did 1 year.
1 year. Did that affect your eligibility?
Yeah. If I'm a assume this correctly. I think that if I wanted to, I probably could have gotten another year there because we had that year back. That just would have been like my year, my COVID year, but like not my COVID year, but yeah. And then did 2 more years somewhere else, but there's no way I was gonna make a JUCO after that 1 year. Let me tell you, it was cool for for the time I needed to do it, but overly, no.
Yeah.
I had to get back to my D1 level. I had to.
Yeah.
And it had nothing to do with basketball, but like you said, the resources and it's different. It's totally different. Like to come from a D1 to go JUCO, that's different. I would advise somebody go JUCO first if you're gonna do anything, and then go D1 if you're gonna do that. But to go D1 then go JUCO, that's gonna be a drastic change and it's gonna be different. Shock. And you're gonna have to adapt to it. Yeah, you're gonna have to adapt to it. It's not gonna be what you used to. So there's a whole lot of that.
So if you had advice for someone thinking about JUCO, would that be it? Go into JUCO and then transfer to Division I? You wouldn't like, hey, don't go D1.
Yeah, if that's JUCO? The case. I don't recommend that. I don't recommend that. I don't recommend go D1 then go JUCO. I don't. But hey, to each his own. I made the best of it though. It was fun, but you don't only know if you went D1 and to go go D1 and go JUCO, you'll find out why I say I don't recommend that. But if you start off JUCO, then cool, but other than that.
That is some very valuable advice. I feel like a lot of people listening would definitely, I mean, they'll probably look more into it, but in terms of like resources, what was the main difference between JUCO and Division I? Just like I can imagine with like facilities are different, but especially with your knee and your rehab, like how are the athletic training facilities and everything?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
It wasn't the same. Even just with like the strength and conditioning thing. We didn't have a strength and conditioning coach. We had a weight room, but we didn't have a strength and conditioning coach. We had trainers, but it was just two of them, and the head trainer, he worked with football, and we had another one. She worked between us and other people, so we didn't really have. It was two trainers, and had to split between all them sports. So,
oh wow,
that was a factor. Things up me and other things because other problems started to occur because of the lack of strength training, the lack of strength training and stuff like that. So it was a mess on that end for me physically. I wasn't too healthy. It wasn't nothing major, but it was still affecting me in a way.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't tell you that I ended up having to get surgery on my ankle, but I don't know if you remember, but I hurt my ankle at Little Rock. That practice we had, and I rolled my ankle so bad, it popped. I had chipped my bone off. I chipped a piece of my bone and tore my ligaments in my ankle, and I didn't get it fixed until after I left Trinity Valley. So this is crazy because I didn't have the first half of the season, I didn't have a problem with my ankle. So when I went home for Christmas, my ankle had swelled up again. It would hurt to walk on it, to touch it. So I was like, I'm gonna just go, to my surgeon and go see what's going on. Because I went to the doctor for ankle before, so I went to see that same doctor. Now my MRI and stuff, he was like, yeah, your ligaments they use the terminology stretched, which is torn. The piece of my bone was broken off, of course. And I was like, can I still play though? Because I couldn't afford to miss no games. Like I have to get recruited to go to another school. So I was like, I'm not playing. He was like, yeah, you can play. Like that goal was already done. He was like, just for stability, just tape it or use an ankle brace. So our coach at the time, that was mandatory anyway. Of course, I didn't like wearing no tape or no ankle braces. Because I don't believe in wearing things that I don't need. So I would just get this ankle tape, and I will roll that ankle every game. This game, it will roll all through the tape. So after I got my surgery, It don't roll no more. It ain't going nowhere now. So
there we go. Good.
I ended up getting that. Yeah, my ankle was fine. It's great. No issues with my ankle, so I did end up having to do that.
Well, I must have trauma blocked a lot of stuff with our first school because I don't remember that, but I'm glad that you are. No, I trauma blocked a whole lot. Like for my coping mechanism, I guess my brain has said like, let's just forget it, okay, and move on. But through this podcast, we have to rehash stuff, right? Yeah, and it was like for my psyche, it's just like for me to be happy, I have to like forget. But that's not what I want to do. I want to think about it and you gotta let some things go, but we have to be able to like share it with other people. Yeah, and so people are able to like hear it and know what not to do or know what to do. So man, Keedy, we went through a lot. One thing I wanted to ask you too, so you ended up going to 3 schools, right? What was it like with your credits that for transferring over? Like from school to school to school?
God. So it wasn't too bad. I think if you transfer anywhere, it's gonna put you behind regardless because it's something that school is not gonna take. I think it took all my JUCO credits, but I think it was something from Little Rock. And the crazy thing is, Nicole, the stuff that the people made me take again, I took it at Little Rock, but they just wouldn't take it from their school. So
that's frustrating.
It was probably like maybe 2 to 3, no more than 3 classes of that, but it was just 2 or 3 classes that I could have been taking that I needed to, finish my degree or whatever. So yeah, that's something to consider too if anybody trying to get in the transport.
Yeah, considering that your credits are not all guaranteed. Yeah, and it stinks too because like that's a big impact on somebody's life. Like you're putting them behind, and it's like, okay, I thought I was gonna graduate by, I'm 21. Now I can't graduate, and I'm over here at 23. And no one wants to be like in that position, So it's a big thing. I know I made a TikTok for the our TikTok account and talking about this. Hey, whenever you're on recruitment visits, take your transcript with you, like an unofficial transcript that can print off, or have your official transcript sent over to the academic people that you're going to meet with on your visit. And if your coaches don't set up on your itinerary that you're meeting with these people, ask them to, or make it known that. Yeah. So you talk to them and be like, hey, these are the credits I took in high school, right? For college credit. Will these transfer over to this university? Especially if you're going out of state, right? Because if you're taking college classes in high school in Texas, it doesn't mean they're necessarily going to transfer over whenever you go play in Oklahoma or Louisiana. Like those are things that you need to ask. That is really, really
important. Everybody's curriculum is different.
It's different, right? Whenever I was at my second school, it was a private Christian school, and I have never had to take Bible classes before, but there was one semester I was taking, no, not even one, for a full year. My last year, I took 18 credits in the fall and 18 in the spring. So I was burnt out. I was going academic because a lot of my credits did not transfer over from Little Rock over to my second school, and it was like, dang. And then having to take the mandatory Bible classes, I had to do like more. It was more on my plate, so talking to those people and having conversations about academics is just as important as seeing the facilities and the weight room and the style of play. Like, the end of the day, the piece of paper is what's going to carry you. Unless you are planning on going professional and like you're like Keedy and you're going to go basketball, that's amazing. Good for you, amazing. I know at one point Keedy wanted to do forensic science, but like having to take stuff over again and everything, that would stink. Having to do and it puts you back. So I
still want to do it. Like I want to get my master's in it.
That'd be really, really cool. And
but right now, really cool. Not putting money in my pocket, so whenever I decide
getting that bag right now
to go back, I want my degree in forensic science. Yes, I want it.
Back to what we were talking about, Keedy. One of the last things I do want to talk to you about, right? Is there any advice that you would give to your younger self, knowing what you know now, with the college recruitment process, with playing professionally and everything, like what advice would you give to a younger Keedy?
I would tell her, be careful what you ask for. Not in a bad way.
Okay.
I think when we, want certain things in life, we don't think about the whole gist of things, like what it comes with, what type of life we can have if we do this or that. But we don't actually think about what comes with these things, good, bad, and all those things. And I would definitely also tell her, it's okay. Just slow down. And I would definitely give myself grace, a lot of grace. Like, all the chips gonna fall where they lay whenever it's time. And yeah, and I would definitely give her a big old gigantic. I would just hug her. I would hug the young, definitely. But yeah, if I could think of anything. Mm-hmm.
I love that. I would give little Keedy a big hug too. I think we've both been through quite the athletic experience, and our younger selves would deserve a big hug, you especially. Mm-hmm. And my other last question I'm gonna ask here, if you have any more advice for people, whether that is like transfers or maybe just like young girls that are looking to play on the collegiate level, what advice do you have for them? So let's say seniors in high school going to play on the next level, what advice, or that want to play on the next level, what advice do you have for them?
First, take care of school. Have your business in the classroom. That's more importantly thing. And also, like, if you know now that you want to play on the next level, start. If you're not doing it now, start putting in the work now. Work on your craft. All those things. And also, the girls that's actually getting ready to do those things, prepare yourself mentally. It's not going to, that's going to be the easy part. The mental part is what's going to be hard. And that's what I wish I was told. They didn't tell us that the mental part was the hard part. You're gonna struggle. It's okay. It's normal. Especially for maybe girls, if you're going away from home, you're gonna get homesick your first year. Away from mom, you gotta grow up. You don't mom to save you. And yeah, the mental part definitely. And work on your game. Take it serious. Especially if this is what you really want. You have to really know you want this, because it's not easy. It's not for the weak. Everybody do not make it. Mm-hmm. But only to survive, definitely. Only don't survive, and that's for every athlete. That's looking to play on the next level.
That's really good advice, Keedy. Hey, and you talk about like you're gonna miss your mama. Let me tell you, shout out to Keedy's mama, because let me tell you something. Whenever Keedy and I got to Little Rock, right? Keedy got into our apartment first, right? She got there first. I had come up the day after I graduated, right? So Keedy had already had her stuff established in the apartment and going and stuff. Keedy's mom was so sweet. So sweet. She went into my bathroom that I hadn't even been in yet, and she did a thorough deep cleaning of the tub, of the sink. She was like, so sweet. Like, she didn't have to do that. I mean, I was gonna do that when I got there, but she was gonna make sure that everything was tip top in shape. And I was just like, oh, I really like this lady. I hope her daughter's like that, like so sweet and considerate and stuff. And she sure was. And it was like, shout out to Keedy's mom. That was wonderful. I'll never forget that. Like, that's just kindness right there. I love time for today, but Keedy, thank you so much for joining us. It has been wonderful talking to you. And guys, remember, no matter where you are on your journey, please know that you are more than enough. Always. We'll catch you later.